lately, brother's been coming on my channel. Brother Larry, can you make a video without the beats? Can you make a video just talking? Can you make a video? We don't like your beats. Y'all better beat y'all feet. Leave me the hell alone with this bullshit. Now, the only reason I don't got my drums on right now is because I haven't turned them on yet. But before I turn them on, I want to say this. So, here we go again with this bullshit coming from the house of unconsciousness. So, here we got bowling pin number 3. This would be Sutek. See, I done rolled down them other 2 pins. Pinheads. Know what I mean? So now, I got this big ass black bowling ball, and I'm warming up. And I'm getting ready to roll a strike against the other pinhead, Sutek. Because he wants to point out what he thinks is a contradiction in what I said. Mind you, this is an individual who goes in front of cameras on YouTube videos and proclaims death to the Negro. And talks about Willie Lynch and Willie Lynch syndromes and how Willie Lynch affects black women, and this is what Sutek talks about. And at the same time, calls me nigga. At the same time, calls Brother Larry a nigga. Right? Mind you. Throws nigga around just like those kids when that camera's not on. But calls Brother Larry a nigga on camera. Right? Tries to smile and joke it off. Now, you know Brother Larry is not a nigga. You know that Brother Larry does not like to be called nigga. He can't help himself because this shit is psychological. And he's psychologically affected by it. Now, he wants to say that I'm a hypocrite because I tell you I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not religious. I take my wife to church. She's a Christian. That's what she wants to do. Now, why would I tamper with someone's beliefs that they hold dearly? I don't do it to my mother. I don't do it to my sister, my brother. I don't do it to my wife, my friends. I don't do it to anyone. Now, you will observe that when people bring that stuff to me, when they confront me with their beliefs and they try to use this stuff to make points, I have to point out to them that it's not real. It's incumbent upon me to point out to you that I have researched this stuff. I have studied it, right? I have argued and debated with priests, with preachers. I've corresponded and debated with scholars, biblical scholars. We've gone back and forth over this stuff. I don't deal with it because when you deal with it in a honest, respectful, and truthful way, it might begin to look like, wait a minute, Brother Larry supports what they're doing. No, see, Brother Larry supports anything that benefits our people. Now, there is activity that is conducted by Christians that benefits our people. There's activities that's conducted by Muslims that benefit our people. There's activities that's conducted by the nation of gods and earths that benefit our people. The philosophy is what I disagree with. The origin of the belief, the core belief. I'm not talking about the cultural development of these institutions in our communities and what they do for the members of them. When I talk about these various groups, my beef with them is that they are various groups, that they have not yet come to the realization that you can't go forward as various groups. You'll always just be various groups, just wandering around, scattered. You understand? Now, my particular insight into the matter has always been and will remain the focus of your mind on yourself when you are looking outside of your head at people who look like you. And because of the history that we experience here in this country, and because of the power of the media of this country, we have been projected around the world, and around the world we are being known as niggers. This is what Brother Larry is talking about, and this is what Brother Larry is always been talking about. I have always been talking about that. This is what I focus on. I don't focus on people's religion. Why? Because religion is not rational. Religion is faith-based. Faith is belief in things unseen. Therefore, if someone is telling you that they don't have to see it to believe it, how are you going to stand there and rationally explain anything to them when they're telling you that they're not dealing with reason and logic? And no, I refuse to engage my time, my energy, my efforts in a frivolous attempt to reason with someone, group of people, religious people, who tell you that they don't care about your logic. They don't care about your reason. They will go so far as to tell you that your ass is being inhabited by the devil, and the devil is making you talk that way. So why would an intelligent, rational thinking individual such as myself beat my head up against a goddamn wall trying to explain something to someone who doesn't want to hear it? Brother Larry is Brother Larry for real. If you want to be crazy, be crazy. If you want to believe that there are space people who inhabited the earth and altered the DNA of some goddamn apes and turned into you, believe it. If you want to believe that ancient aliens built the pyramids, believe it. If you want to believe that you are somehow extraordinarily powerful being that has dominion over the planet, believe it. But don't expect me to, because Brother Larry is aware that people get eaten on this planet by fish, by cats, lions and shit. Tigers eat people all the time in India. Now, you would expect that because you see trained tigers, you see them jumping through fiery hoops and shit, that man can control tigers, right? You would think that. Now, mind you, The same individuals who think that man can control all of these quote-unquote wild animals. Man can also control man. And at the same time, you see what happened when one man decides to shoot everybody. 20-year-old kid killed 20 babies, 6 adults, and his mama. When one man decides to shoot 2 brothers terrorizing Boston, just 2. The whole damn city of Boston locked down. People hiding in their houses from 2 people. Just 2. So now, when you look at the reality of this planet and you see your vulnerability, almost misspoke, damn near did a Thai foodie. When you see your vulnerability, Oswald Bates, right? When you see yourself vulnerable, right? And you know that collectively, you lessen that vulnerability. Damn near can't talk this morning. What the hell is going on? Right? So now, when you see this, right, and yet and still, you make no effort whatsoever to establish a strong base of operation. I mean, look, here's my problem with organizations, right? They become the personal bank accounts of the individuals that run them until the membership flip on them, they throw them out, or they call in the authorities and they come and arrest their ass and take them to jail. That happens too. My thing is this, right? We invest too much in one individual. See, brother have a good idea, start an organization, and it'll start out with fire. But as time goes on and the actual grind of the work begins and the progress isn't instant, you know, they got us on some instant gratification. The process doesn't produce an instant result. It produces a struggle. It produces a generational struggle. You begin to raise your children up to take your place in the struggle. Now, that would be the natural course of things, right? But as we observe with long-standing institutions that exist amongst our people, and I won't point any fingers at any one particular institution, but just like these foreign dictators who try to instill their offspring in their stead when they start dying, the institutions that have emerged amongst our people attempt to create dynasties, and in so doing they create these well-off families but no progress for the core members of the people, which is why the core members of the people don't belong to these organizations. They are scattered and are listening to individuals who claim to be members of the quote-unquote conscious community. Brother Larry is telling you in truth and in fact that that too is a myth. There is no conscious community. Now, they're going to be mad at me for that. But I told you before, the only thing I tell is the truth. And the only way I know how to be is real. And the only thing I say is what I see. Now, you tell me there's a conscious community, and that consciousness is supposed to be about the progress of the people, about the upliftment of the people, about the eradication of false notions held by the people. I don't see it happening because these conscious dudes are still niggas.